Endogenous growth theory. The new endogenous growth theory stresses increasing returns due to specialization and investment in knowledge capital. This is achieved through education, research, and skill formation, which lead to human capital formation. This new endogenous growth theory stresses the increasing returns due to specialization and investment in human capital. This is achieved through research, education, and skill formation, which lead to human capital formation. Technical progress and human capital formation are endogenized within the general equilibrium models of growth. The technical progress and human capital formation are endogenized within the general equilibrium models of growth. Saving can take in two forms: saving to augment physical capital and savings to augment human capital. And human capital is formed through investment in education research, which raises the market value of labor. Endogenous growth theories give importance to the human capital and human capital formation for the attainment of growth and development. In the model of endogenous growth, only two inputs are accounted: physical capital and human capital. In the endogenous growth model, we consider only two inputs, that is physical capital and human capital. Where in the conventional models of growth, the two inputs are capital and labor. In endogenous growth theory, we consider two types of capital: physical capital and human capital. Here, labor is treated in efficiency unit. Then the production function can be written as y equal to ak raised to alpha h raised to 1 minus alpha. Hence, physical capital is a technical progress or technology, where H represents the human capital or knowledge capital. Here, we omitted the unskilled labor. Labor is treated in efficiency unit in this model. H is increased, that is human capital or knowledge capital can be increased within the creation of new knowledge through investment in research and education. Technical progress residual is accumulated through the formation of endogenous human capital. Here, knowledge being a public good, so there are spillover benefits. Knowledge is treated as a public good, and so there is a spillover benefit. And knowledge capital continues indefinitely and helps sustain long-run growth of per capita income. Knowledge capital continues indefinitely and helps sustain long-run growth of per capita income. Since developed countries have more knowledge capital, their long-term growth will experience increasing returns. The developed countries have more knowledge capital, so their long-term growth will experience increasing returns. This avoids also Solow's prediction of convergence. According to Solow, capital depreciates or diminishes. High-income countries will experience diminishing returns, and low-income countries will experience increasing returns, and convergence will happen. But in endogenous growth theory, stress knowledge capital and their long-term growth will experience increasing returns and not diminishing returns. So this avoids Solow's predictions of convergence. The main proponents of endogenous growth theories are Lucas and Paul Romer. And this new endogenous growth theory is also supported by Arrow. His concept is learning by doing, and also supported by Grossman and Helpman. To them, technological spillover from international trade and also supported by Mellon. His concept is FDI, increasing the human capital, or this endogenous, related to this endogenous growth theories.